like I'm blending right in the core. What's going on YouTube? It's Kevin and Mikkel. We are back with another video. I know y'all might be surprised y'all getting a video Memorial Day weekend. Yes, you are. For those who are out of town, I hope you guys have a good time. Please be safe and have fun. If you're going to have some other kind of fun, be safe. And you know what I'm talking about. For those in DC and Miami, please have some fun for me because I definitely need to have some fun. If you're a first-time watcher, please make sure you subscribe to our channel. Click the like button, leave a comment, say something. Congratulations to all the graduates. Don't forget that you can send your pictures to the Scorpion Show at yahoo.com. So yeah, let's get into this video. I don't think this is going to be a long video, but we're going to get into it. First things first, we're going to talk about the Live in Front of a Studio Audience show last night on ABC. They recreated 2 episodes of one from All in the Family and one from the Jeffersons. It was hosted by Jimmy Kimmel, and he had Norman Lear there as his guest. And for 96 years old, I said Norman Lear is doing a damn good job. His memory is on point and everything.
He looks younger, and I'm not trying to be shady, but when at the end, sitting there, he looked younger than Marla Gibbs.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And she's like damn near 10 years older than her. And usually they say black don't crack, but...
She 80. Look, she's lived a long...
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong, she looks good, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, because Cicely Tyson is still ain't holding on, and she looks good. She don't look 90 something. You know, but it has. For some they crack, okay?
I just...
But she... No, yeah, you're a mess.
No, go ahead. No, I ain't even shady, I'm just saying. He looked, like you said, for 96, he
looks damn good. Yes, he does. And, you know, I watched it. I watched some of All in the Family. I didn't watch all of All in the Family. But from what I did catch, I clicked towards the end part where the Jeffersons were on there. But I know I've seen that episode before. I know I've seen that one. But, you know, it was good. And I love that when Jamie Foxx messed up, he fixed it and, you know, he kept on going. At first, though, I must say that I was like, they don't look like the original characters too much. And, you know, Edith Bunker, her voice is distinct. And Marissa was trying, I think that was Marissa Tomei, I'm not sure. But I was like, oh my God, like, no. And then when you hear Weezy, you want to hear that raspiness, and it wasn't there. But otherwise, I enjoyed it. Jamie Foxx, he played his character, George Jefferson. He did the damn thing. And I think he was really committed to being George Jefferson, from the walk, the talk, the attitude, everything. And I really enjoyed the Jeffersons remake. Like, I was really laughing at, you know, at the stuff that they were saying to each other and what was going on. Now, am I going to go as far as say they should redo the Jeffersons? Hell no. Like, I don't want no movie. Like, just keep it the way it was. It was cute that they recognized the episode. From watching, I was like, oh, this has to be the first episode ever of the Jeffersons. But it was really good. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. You know, maybe this might be a new thing for ABC to recreate classic episodes of different shows, because people definitely watched. It was the #1 rated show from last night, and it was even still trending when I woke up about how good the show was, and a lot of people watched it. How did you feel about it?
I liked both of them. I actually saw both episodes in the past, so I knew exactly where they were going. I didn't like Woody Harrelson as Archie Bunker. I think they could have found, you know, someone else. I liked Marissa Tomei as Edith. I thought she could have been a little bit better, but I liked her for what it was. I hated Wanda Sykes as Edith. Weezy. I just thought that was just a horrible, you know, who thought of that? I thought it was so genius when Marla Gibbs showed up playing Florence.
Yes.
I thought that was genius, because the whole time I'm thinking to myself, in the beginning of the episode when it first came on, I knew exactly what episode it was, when they were fighting about getting the maid. And to see Marla Gibbs walk through that door, and I was like, oh my God. Because the whole time I kept saying to myself, I wonder when they're going to get to play Florence. Like, not thinking, oh, they're going to get Florence to play Florence. Like, and you know, she's the only original one that's still living from that cast.
Yeah, that show, you know, I thought about it like Norman Lear out survived all of them, like a lot of them.
Yeah.
Because these shows are from like 45 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
And Marla Gibbs, and I thought that she was spot on. And it's so funny because if you ever watch the original, that episode, she was sort of dressed the way she was in the original episode, and her lines, I mean, she was spot on delivering her lines. Like you said, for her to be 87 years old, she was really spot on. I thought it was so good. I thought it was weird pairing Will Ferrell and Kerry Washington.
Yes.
Like, I'm trying to figure out who did this casting, but whatever. It is what it is. Okay. Yeah. It was cute. It was cute for what it was. It was definitely cute for what it was. It made me want to go back and watch the original shows. I don't care what nobody say. Nobody will ever be Archie Bunker the way Carol O'Connor was Archie Bunker. Like, he was, it was just something about him playing that role, and then, you know, it was amazing. And I really do, you know, urge you guys to please go on YouTube and look up some All in the Family episodes. If you've never really gave it a chance, watch them. They are hilarious. There are 4 episodes on YouTube. They are hilarious. And it's unfortunate because I knew that both episodes, including the Jeffersons episode, was episodes where they were going to use some foul language. And I was thinking to myself, how are they going to do this on live TV and say these words? And then when they bleeped it out, I was kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
Because we talked about this before on Monday. And I was kind of disappointed because when you watch the original episodes, they say it. Nigga and all. And it's so good when you watch the original episodes and see how they get into it. It was like, yeah, this was cute, but this is nothing like how it was originally done. It was nothing like that. But yeah, Wanda Sykes, I felt like was horrible casting. I didn't think she was good at Wheezy at all. I didn't really care. I mean, it was cute for Jamie Foxx, but I didn't care too much for him. Like, I mean,
I loved him as George. I mean,
I felt like it could have been him or somebody else. Like, I didn't think he was that good. Like, it was cute. It was a cute what they did, but definitely not something that I could see again. Now, if they were to do that and make that no, because then they'd be copying off of the original. So no, never mind. I'm forget what I'm about to say.
What did you think as Jennifer Hudson doing?
I thought that was cute. I thought that was cute. Now, they could have got Jen as the voice because she's still living, but I guess not. I guess maybe she don't. Because I thought that would have been classic.
I'm sorry.
Who's taking your phone?
That's Charlie. You still here?
I left out already.
Can you? Oh, all right. But you ordered it.
Yeah, it's done with everything.
All right, I'll be over there. All right. Can you say that one more time? Jennifer.
Yeah, I thought Jennifer was good, but I thought that like
Janae Dubois.
Yeah, she's still living. So.
Yes.
But I guess maybe her voice is not, you know. But I thought that would have been cute for them to get her to do it.
Yeah.
You know. But Jennifer did really good. She did really good.
Yeah.
She did really good.
I just really enjoyed it, and it seemed like a lot of people, like, you know, some people had some negative to say, but I've seen more positive than negative. Now, when I asked everybody on Instagram, you know, how did they feel about the show, it was more positive than negative, but there was this one comment that stood out, and it was like, Norman Lear is a thief, and, you know, and I put the eyes there, and she went on to explain even more. So what I did was, you know, I went to Google and I researched what she was talking about. And yes, I did see that Norman Lear was sued by one of the creators. He was a writer. He wrote the characters George and Wheezy, and he also came up with the show Good Times and things like that. I mean, he pretty much, what's happening, Cooley High, he was pretty much doing the damn thing in the early 70s. And he was doing a great job, and his name was Eric Monte. He was from Chicago. He moved out, he hitchhiked his way all the way.
Well, he's still living.
Yeah, he's still alive. He had to be like 70 something, 73, 70.
I'm only saying that because you're using him in past tense. When you're saying was and.
Because I was thinking like how big he was.
Yeah.
Like not saying like
he's still living.
Yeah, he's still living. But he was really, really famous. Not famous, but he made a lot of money in the early 70s. And he eventually left Good Times to do the movie Cooley High because his script had got picked up and he wrote for the movie and everything like that. Now, from what I was reading, during Good Times, Norman Lear wanted the character James Evans. He wanted him off the show, and because he was saying like, you know, this show can survive without a strong black male character, and when he was there, Eric was not letting that happen. And once Eric left the show to go do the Cooley High movie, that's when James Evans' character was killed off the show. And also, James Evans and Florida Evans, well, what's their real names? John Amos and Esther Rowe, they were upset about the direction of this show. And I know I've seen this plenty of times because they were centering the show around JJ, but they're like, no, we're talking about, this is serious stuff, and this is how black people are living. And
yeah, but which the story kind of confuses me because they're saying that Norman Lear didn't really want him on the show anymore, which may be true. But then I thought that John Amos has said also in the past that he himself didn't want to be on the show anymore either because of the direction of the show. So I'm trying to see how could both of those be true? Like, how could Norman Lear want him off the show and wait until Eric is gone to fire him? Because it kind of seems like Norman Lear fired somebody who still wanted to be on the show, but John Amos has said himself that he no longer wanted to be on the show anymore because of the direction that the show was going.
Well, from what I was reading, that was the main reason why he was, you know, put off of the show. And then the reason why he was suing is because, like, after he left Good Times, also the Jeffersons became a TV show, and he was like, you know what, I'm suing y'all because y'all stealing my ideas. He came up with the characters of George and Wheezy on All in the Family. That's how long he's been writing for the show. The guy Lionel, who was on All in the Family, they had created Good Times together. And he was just like, y'all stealing from me.
The original James Evans.
Yes, the original Lionel Jefferson.
Yes.
Lionel Jefferson.
The first...
he played James Evans on...
No. The first... His name was James Evans.
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans. He was a writer, and he was the original Lionel, because on the Jeffersons it was two Lionels, like the Fresh Prince, it was two Aunt Liz. But the first Lionel was a writer on the show, whatever the case may be. But I'm trying to figure out what exactly did Norman? Okay, because Norman Lear was a producer. Yeah, he produced these shows.
But when he came on, when the Jeffersons came on, he took over credit, like he, you know, came up with the show. So I'm assuming, like, after they were sued, his name, Eric Monte, started appearing on the show because Eric Monte's like, y'all just stealing everything from me. He sued ABC, he sued CBS, he sued another producer, he sued Norman Lear, and he sued Bud Yorkin. And he eventually won that case. He got $1 million settlement. And he got 1%,
which is nothing.
Yes, and 1% residuals from Good Times, and
Good Times or the Jeffersons?
Good Times, because he was one of the creators of Good Times, but he wasn't a part of the production when the Jeffersons came along.
Yeah, because remember, and if anybody knows this, all of those TV shows were spawned from one another, because All in the Family was a show that Norman Lear, because remember Norman Lear was saying that Meathead, the son-in-law on
Mike.
Yeah, was what his father used, that was him growing up, and that's what his father used to call him. And the Jeffersons came from All in the Family. Just like Good Times, the mom was the maid on a TV show called Maud.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and I
it all came about. So I'm trying to figure out Okay, I'm trying to figure out Eric Monte.
Mhm.
Did he create Good Times off of this character, Florida Evans, that was already a character that was already created? Because remember, Maud was on before Good Times.
From what I've seen, he wrote the character of, what's the guy that was Lionel? He got hired to be on the show.
Mm-hmm.
He was friends with the guy Mike, and eventually he had wrote a script. He introduced George Jefferson character to be on that show.
All in the Family.
On All in the Family. Eventually, with you doing all this writing, he came up with
the show.
The show,
Jeffersons. Right.
He came up with Good Times.
Oh, not the no. Okay.
Yeah, not the Jeffersons. He came up with Good Times, and him and Lionel, who was Mike, they created the Good Times show with Norman Lear named as a producer and all of that stuff. Eventually, he left the show to do the Cooley High movie, but when once he left, I guess Norman was like, well, I can take the George Jefferson character and Wheezy and come up with the Good Times, but that wouldn't be fair because the Jeffersons, because he came up with that character. I don't know if he wrote about Wheezy, but I know that for sure he introduced George Jefferson to come.
Okay, so then why not? And this has already happened years ago. So, but we talking about legacy. But what I'm looking at it as, okay, he came up with the characters, got it. But you left the show. And then Norman Lear saw more in the characters than just them being these next door neighbors. He saw them actually having their own show. So then why didn't they work together? Or why, if I'm trying to, all right, so, and I can understand how this is, but I'm kind of looking at it at like, okay, I created these characters for this show, but then you take the characters and say, wait, I see bigger in these characters, so I'm going to create a whole show for them. Yeah, I should get some part of that because I created these characters. Yeah. But I didn't create that show. Norman Lear created the show.
He created the show, but
I created the characters.
I came up with the characters. Maybe his name is on those.
Yeah, but your characters that you came up with was only. You only had a vision of them being next door neighbors. Norman Lear had a vision of them actually having their own show. So, yeah, you should definitely get a part of that. But you came up with the idea of Good Times, whereas though he took the Jeffersons and said, "I'm gonna take them and move them from off this area and make." I'm just trying to. I don't know.
I don't think that would be fair because if I came up with those characters. And me and you stopped working together, and then you create a show based on the characters that I came up with, and I'm not getting paid from it. Yes.
No. That's why I said he should get paid. That's why I said he should get paid. But the funny thing is, you said he didn't get paid for that. He only got paid for Good Times.
He only got paid for Good Times,
which is weird.
Yeah, and he got the $1 million settlement. Because I guess maybe because he didn't have great lawyers, he just took the settlement and was like, "I'll take this."
He couldn't have had great lawyers for $1 million. Yes. Because I would have thought that he would have won for both.
Yeah, he lost his $1 million home. I mean, he had his home, he had the Mercedes-Benz, all that. And then he eventually lost his apartment. And things got so bad for him, he started doing crack. He lived in a Salvation Army home. Then he moved with his daughter to Oregon. Then he moved back to Chicago. Then he moved to Los Angeles. I was just like shocked. And I'm just like, Norman Lear made all of this money. Now, of course, you got to have black writers somewhere because you coming up with the Jeffersons and you coming up with Good Times.
Yeah, there's definitely black writers somewhere.
Yeah.
But you know what? And that's funny that you said it because if you watch the Jeffersons in the opening credits, you will see, and now that I'm looking at, I can see Eric Monte's name in those letters that they had, and also Mike Evans, who played the original Lionel, as the writers on the show. So you definitely know that there was black writers somewhere because there ain't no white writers writing that for the Jeffersons in Good Times. It's just not.
And then back in those times, it was a lot of arguments going on the set because, like you writing you got white people writing a show for black people, and they're saying like, no, this is how it's supposed to be. So it was a lot. Somebody at the door. You going to the store, right?
Tired too.
Bye. Who's the door? So it was just a lot. And I was just like, oh my God, like I just felt so bad for this man. And you know, like you hear about people who are unsung, but I have never, ever heard of Eric Monte until today. Seeing this in my comments, and then Googling who he was at the time, and just, you know, I just hope that, you know, maybe I don't know if he's ever had I don't even know if he had an episode of Unsung or anything, but he definitely needs to be discussed and he needs to be talked about because he came up with these classic shows, and all we hear is Norman Lear, and we never hear of the writer behind these shows. And you know, writers typically they're not really recognized like that, not unless you really like put yourself out there. Like, you know, Tyler Perry write his stuff. We hear Lena Waithe's name all the time. John Singleton, who recently passed, like, they weren't trying to be in front of the cameras, but now a lot of them are. So, you know, I feel like he definitely deserves his due, and he definitely he deserves his flowers. And I feel bad that I had to learn about him through, you know, that kind of a comment, but his name needs to be discussed and his name needs to be out there. And I'm sure he's experienced much, but you know, after he sued them, a lot of the jobs dried up for him because he was blacklisted and he was labeled difficult to work with. Eric Monte. And you know, now when you think about it, it has to be true because think of all the women that say that a lot of stuff happened to them back in the 70s and the 80s and they didn't have the power, and if they said anything, a lot of things could be taken away from them. And because you're suing me and you're suing empires like ABC and CBS and you win, they're not going to want to work with you in the future.
I found on Good Times Eric Monte and Mike Evans because I knew I'd seen the names, his name before on it, but his name is only on Good Times. His name doesn't appear because while you were talking, I looked at the Jeffersons credits. His name doesn't appear. It has Good Times created by him and Mike Evans, but on the Jeffersons, it doesn't have the two of them at all used as creators of that show.
Yeah, it says somebody else's name. And not only that, I was reading that.
But it's still but it still doesn't make sense as to why, if he created. That's why I'm saying it sounds a little weird because it's like you created the characters, but you didn't create the show. And I think that's probably why he didn't win with the Jeffersons. Because yes, you created the characters for All in the Family show, but you didn't create the show of the Jeffersons. You know what I mean? Like, and while he should have been compensated for even creating the characters, but just because you create the characters doesn't mean you created the show.
But that's why he feel like, you know, y'all
and I think that's why he wasn't. Yeah, but did they really steal from him? Because
if I came up with a character, let's say like the Scorpion show.
Like, for instance, prime example, Norman Lear is a part of Good Times, but Norman Lear added these two as the creators. Norman Lear's name is nowhere on created the show. Now Norman Lear is on created the Jeffersons. That's why I'm kind of confused. Like, well, Eric, did you create the Jeffersons or did you just create the characters?
But I would think that was sneaky too. Like, after I leave your production company, you come out with the show, the Jeffersons, as a spin-off from All in the Family. And this is a character that I
Well, you know, both of these shows came out at the same time. The Jeffersons and
Jeffersons came out in like 75.
So did Good Times.
But All in the Family was out before.
Yeah, All in the Family. But I'm saying these.
Yeah,
but I'm saying these two shows came out at the same time. The Jeffersons and Good Times.
But Jeffersons came out after Good Times because Good Times was already filming when he left the show. He left the show like at the
he left the show on while he was on Good Times.
Yeah,
okay.
Like writing and stuff. Now, also, he was saying that, I just want to get all this out because if I miss anything, I don't want nobody to be like, oh, you got it wrong. So another reason why he was suing is because he was saying like he helped Norman Lear with the development of Sanford and Son. He was saying that the show Sanford and Son comes from a British show called Steptoe and Son.
Yes, it does.
And he was saying
I could have told you that.
He said he wanted He said you should make this show a black cast, and you should have Red Fox as, you know, as the lead of the show. And at that time, Norman Lear didn't know who Red Fox was. But if you look at Sanford and Son, even though Norman Lear is like, he's like the brains behind the project, he doesn't get any credit from that. But he's like, I helped you with all of this.
Who doesn't get any credit?
Norman Lear. His
doesn't
name
get
is
any
not
credit
on
for
Sanford and Son. Nope. But he was a part of the development of the show. So I mean,
it's like,
it's just so much. It's hard. And
now don't get me wrong.
It's hard.
Eric Monte, and I agree with you. He should get all of his flowers.
Yes.
You know. However, I think there's more than what, because it doesn't make something is not adding up with me.
But I do believe he was blacklisted because he came up with that, you know, Cooley High, and then What's Happening is a part of Cooley High. So he did
you
have
some all this stuff I already knew.
Yeah, he had success with
he went to Cooley High. He went to Cooley High School.
Yeah, and What's Happening is definitely one of my favorite shows. I love What's Happening, and I love What's Happening Now. So, you know, those are my damn shows, and I know them because when I was a kid and I didn't do my homework, What's Happening used to come on Fox 29 around 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I would watch ABC News at 5 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, but What's Happening is definitely one of my favorite TV shows. I just loved it. But yeah, I just wanted to bring to the attention the name Eric Monte. Because, you know, he's unsung, and you got a little lesson. And if you want, you could Google, you could find some interviews on YouTube. I didn't watch any interviews. I just happened to, you know, read up on what happened. And yes, when you take on a big empire, people will label you difficult to work with. But he fought for what he deserved, and he won. But he didn't win a lot. And that's why it's important to make sure you read everything you sign, and you have some good lawyers with you.
He was young at that time too when he was working with them. He was like in his late 20s, early 30s. So he was definitely young.
He was making a lot of money. If you got mansions, you losing because you can't pay no more. And he tried to do his own production company, but you know things didn't work out with the settlement money. He tried to do things, but he wasn't getting any jobs because his name was already a bad person. And he was black at the time. You know, oh my God, it was bad.
Norman Lear is definitely that gold though.
Yeah, $700 million he is worth.
Yeah, hello? I can believe
that.
And those shows are classic shows.
Yeah, and
All the Family, Sanford and Son, Maude, The Jeffersons, Good Time. Those are classic shows. And like you said, all those shows that I just named, he's outlived every main character on the show because all of the main characters on those shows are gone.
And Maude, I've never really watched Maude like that, but I do remember the episode when she was on All in the Family, and that episode
was cousin's mom. Yeah, she was Edith's cousin.
Yeah. All right. So we're still talking about TV shows. Jason Mitchell, who plays the character Brandon, I believe Brandon Johnson, but he plays the character Brandon on The Chi. He is no longer a cast member of the show. He will not be returning for season 3 of The Chi because of it's been alleged of his misconduct on the set of The Chi. One of the actresses, Tiffany Boone, had been complaining about Jason
Is this the
Miller,
one who plays his
girlfriend? Yes, she was upset. Things got so bad to the point where her fiance had to be on the set with her. I was hearing that she's left the show, but I'm not sure if she's left the show. But she's gone and he's gone. Jason Miller is gone. Jason Mitchell is gone, and it was so bad for Jason Mitchell on his misconduct that he was fired from a Netflix movie that he had upcoming, and he was also dropped from his agency. So when you have things like that going on, you know things are really, really bad. And I feel like his career was really taking off when he did that movie Straight Outta Compton. He's been in a couple of films and some TV shows, and he was just doing the damn thing. And it's just like, You know, he had some allegations against him in the past, which I'm not going to bring up. But it's just like, in this era of the Me Too movement, you have to be a fool to be doing these stupid things. Now, I'm not sure if they were all sexual or like if he was threatening people. I don't know. But I just feel like it's silly to mess up your career like this. You're on a hit TV, you're not on a cable network. It's a hit show. You're the lead character. And not only that, you're doing other movies and your name is getting out there and you just messed it all up. Now, I don't know how he redeems himself, you know, and I was more worried about the show, The Chi, than him. Because I'm like, he's an integral part of the show. Now, if he's gone, how does this show survive? What's going to happen? You know, a lot of people had different things, like, you know, maybe they should replace Brandon with a new Brandon. Maybe they could center the show around Emmett's character. I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm definitely going to be watching because I am in love with the second season of The Chi. You know, I was kind of mad that they wasn't there this week. But I bet I'll be back on board next. Maybe they won't be back next week. It's Memorial Day weekend. I don't know. But whenever it comes on, I'm going to be there watching the show. And, you know, then someone in the comments was saying that the mom on the show, him and her got into something. That's why she's not on this season. I don't know. But it's like I do miss that character. I always love seeing whatever show she's in. I love seeing her on. So it's kind of weird that she's not there and she just randomly moved to Delaware. And we already know ain't nothing in Delaware. Sorry to the people that live in Delaware, but y'all know it's true. And you know, I just want this show to survive. And the drama is so good. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm sure all the shows.
Was it sexual tension? Was it sexual harassment that he was?
It could have been sexual harassment with Tiffany, and maybe that's what made her uncomfortable. But it has to be more to what's going on because your label, the agency dropping you, you got fired from the show, you getting fired from Netflix. It has to be more than just Tiffany Boone. It has to be more. It has to. Like, they're like, look, nigga, you got to go. And, you know, some people are like, oh, I'm not going to watch because he's the show. I want everybody to keep watching. You know, I want to know what they're going to do. And I want to know what's going to I really want to keep watching because I want to know what's going to happen with his character. For those who haven't been caught up, now he's dealing with a drug dealer. And he's getting $10,000 for his bus.
Right.
I want to know what's going on. I want to know what's going to happen. It's like so much. And you know what character I'm really starting to like? The young, dumb drug dealer with the little brother. I'm starting to like it.
I'm following her on Instagram, yeah.
Yes, I'm starting to like it. Because he's making so many mistakes. And that old man, he like, I'm tired of you fucking up. I really like this character. I'm like, okay, maybe he could be a big brother to him, but I want him to stop threatening him all the goddamn time. Because people are going to make mistakes. But I'm in love with this show. And then the kids help make this show with their little middle school drama. Like, it's so good. Even Brandon with the cooking contest, like, you fucking shit up, man. You fucking shit up.
You're right.
This is really a good show. I didn't even know it got picked up this
Well, he's fucking shit up for himself.
Yes.
Not for other
I don't know if I can see somebody else playing Brandon because he's like that dumb character, but you still rooting for him. And then him and Kevin, like those scenes of them together, like it's so good, man. I'm so mad. I'm mad. Now that I keep thinking about all the stuff that's going on the show, I'm getting mad. So we need to move on. Like he was cutting Kevin here, Kevin was crying. Like that was such a beautiful scene. Like, oh my God.
Kevin already knows that I've told Kevin in the past that I wasn't really here for this. I don't know if it was this character or this actor playing this character, but I just
no. But he's really like he's not too bright.
Yeah.
But you.
So and I told Kevin this in the past. So it's kind of crazy how now he's being,
deleted. Like,
yeah.
If they kill off this character, that's fine. And now somebody in the Instagram comments, they were like, Well, no, because the mom already lost one son. She can't lose another one. Well, hello.
Well,
That's
she's not.
damn
But they're not only there. She's not even in there. Well, what? She moved to Delaware. But what damn good is it to have?
It's not funny.
It's not. It's not funny.
But I'm just getting pissed off thinking about it. But then I don't know. I don't want. Maybe they could focus the show around Emmett, but Emmett needs a better job, and he's gonna have to go to school. Like he's always getting these odd jobs, but he's not getting nothing on paper. He has no money on paper, and everything is under the table. He needs on paper. So I don't know what they're gonna do, but I'm gonna be watching, and I'm glad that Miss Ethel is back home. Like, oh my God, they are really like doing the damn thing on this season. Y'all gotta catch up if y'all haven't been watching. I'm getting mad. So Wendy Williams' son, Kevin Hunter Jr.
With the JR.
Yes, he was arrested this week for getting into a fight with his father. Now, you're saying Wendy dropped him off at the family home the other night, and I guess Wendy's son didn't know that Kevin was there. Mm-hmm. So whatever the case may be, they had went out to the store, and they got into an argument at the parking lot of the store. From what I've read, Kevin Hunter, the father, had his son in a headlock, and his son punched him in the nose. And the son was eventually arrested for what happened. And then, I was seeing that Kevin, the father, was saying that, I'm not going to press any charges against my son. But what led up to this argument, allegedly, is that they were arguing about what was going on with Wendy Williams. And he was saying, like, you can't be feeding off your mom and all this and that. And they say Kevin Dream was like, well, hold up. Why are you trying to get spousal support from my mom and all this and that? And that's what led to them having that big blow up. And if you've seen pictures of Kevin is tall. And
like his mother.
Yeah. So, and he's kind of muscular a little bit,
like his mother.
Oh, you're trying to get. I love Wendy. But I do believe in honoring a mother and a father, but I guess I've never had a physical anything with my family over my father, so I wouldn't know what it's like to be in that position.
Right.
But he has to be angry because he's seen a lot. And then and your mom going through this, and you got another baby by somebody. Like he probably has a lot in him, and you never really hear from the children what goes on when your parents are public and they have a divorce. It's a lot. And he's only 18 years old, and he's in school and stuff. I just hope that everything goes well for him, and that the charges are dropped against him. But I don't see nobody being upset with what Kevin did. But in the Bible they do say honor thy mother and thy father, and fighting is not something you should be doing with your parents. Putting your hands on them, I don't agree with, but I don't know what happened. And sometimes you do have to defend yourself, especially when you're an adult.
Right.
Because I'm not going to let nobody beat on me. I'm sorry, you're not. Rip me up for what? So, the Harriet Tubman will not be on the $20 bill. It's supposed to be in 2020. Harriet Tubman was going to be on the $20 bill, but the Trump administration and Stephen Mnuchin, who is the Treasury leader of the Treasury.
So who's going to stay on it? Jackson?
Jackson will stay on the $20 bill, but it's not even in their plans to do anything with this $20 bill. But they will be redesigning the $20 bill for more security. But having a black woman on there is not up for debate until 2026. And if it does happen, she'll be on in 2028. And we all know that Donald Trump didn't agree with Harriet Tubman being on the $20 bill. He thinks that she should be on the $2 bill.
Who said that?
Donald Trump. Donald Trump said this a couple years ago.
Mind you, the $2 bill that you barely
see, the one you put in your picture frame. He is a mess. Okay.
This man is the president of the United
States.
And baby, I'm telling you.
Yeah. It's horrible. And a lot of people are upset about this Harriet Tubman not being on the $20 bill because It was supposed to be like the 100th year of the 19th Amendment, I believe, and that's why she was going on there.
Well, next year,
and
was
that all up.
where women next year to be 100 years that women have been allowed to vote.
Yeah, so it's bad. But you know, we got bigger fish to fry than having Harriet Tubman on a $20 bill. First of all, we need to make sure we keep her memory alive and keep talking about her. Because if you don't talk about people, they will be forgotten. Okay? So, on the last topic, which I really don't. What? That's like Richard here.
Come in.
Today.
On my fault.
What? I said that sound like you. What's the matter?
You got Kevin, you got extra memory card?
I doubt it. It's somewhere in it. It do have one, but I don't know where it is. You could probably look inside one of them. You gotta flip it open from the inside.
That?
Oh, it's another camera. I don't know.
My fault, though. I left all my fucking memory cards in the crib.
What, you about to take somebody's
I
picture?
gotta do this prom for Shakina cousin. I'm gonna walk over the fuck around
We
here.
about to go around there after this. Hold up.
Where the cousin leaving from?
Right on 26th Street. Look, my room is already a mess. Maybe after I finish recording and upload this, you can use my memory card. I don't know.
Well, how long is it gonna take? Well, when you gotta go?
Now. Well, like, you know what I mean? Not now, but like now.
Yeah, like now.
Yeah, like now.
Because-
Somebody prom. It's 5 o'clock.
Yeah, you do gotta go do that.
I did have a memory card. But anyway, so listen, y'all. A judge in the Jussie Smollett situation has ordered that the documents be unsealed so we can all know what happened and what led to him being, here we go. You just have to delete what's on there.
Thank you.
I told you it's on one of the cameras.
I see y'all coming around here, you said?
Kevin will be walking.
We'll see what's going on.
Thank you.
Come on.
Yeah, so the judge said, I don't want nobody going to my closet.
What closet?
You know, on the wardrobe.
You don't want nobody going in nothing.
Okay. I want my room like you where I
Like you got something to hide.
So if I ask somebody to clean, oh yeah, there's some stuff I have to have. Because I be seeing, look, I never pull this
You
out.
still got that flashlight?
Bitch, no, I best do that out. When we after the fire, I threw that thing out. Yeah.
You wore it out, huh?
Yeah, I sure did. So anyway. No, because I was like, nah, I can't leave this in here. Like, you know,
No, you
people
can't.
in here.
And then
You know, I was
somebody
somebody
don't know
stole
this,
from
right?
me.
Yeah, I know.
They probably seen it. You know?
Yeah, yeah, because he was in here rummaging.
Yeah.
You know who that was.
Yeah.
But he probably didn't know who it was.
Oh, no, I'm sure you know what it was. Everybody knew that.
No, some people don't.
You see something with
I told a few people, and some people, oh no. Oh, you had the one, no, you ain't had the clear one.
No.
That doesn't look
no.
like, you had the one that,
It was a case. I mean, shut up. I'm not talking about it. But
oh,
I
it's
have
on the box.
Yeah, I had one. Yeah.
What are you doing with it?
Sending videos to people.
I'm sure, and I hope you had your face in it.
Never.
I hope you did. You're a mess. You're going straight to hell.
Well, I'll see you there.
No, not me.
Harriet Tubman, I'm saying Harriet Tubman. So Jussie Smollett, the case is, the documents are being unsealed, that were sealed after we found out that he was being let go. So I don't know what's going to happen, but let me tell you, I think, me personally, I have moved on from this Jussie Smollett case. I feel like he is guilty, and that's that on that. I believe that everybody's career is redeemable, but with him not speaking and saying anything, it's saying a lot. But I don't think, we're not just going to forget about this. Because when you show your face again, if it's for a movie or anything, we're always going to remember. So this is going to be something that's a stain on your career, whether you came up with this or not. And it makes it look really bad because you didn't get your $10,000 bond back. They just said, hey, do this community service and we'll drop the charges. So, and then now, like, you got the The state attorney, she's embroiled in this mess. They want to know what's going on. What part did she play? You had text messages come out. Like, all kinds of shit went down. So, I don't know. I just don't care about this no more. Because we have moved on. It's the summertime. You know? Not that it's just the summertime, but we've moved on.
Yeah,
It was a hot topic.
Yeah, it was a hot topic for Black History Month.
Yes.
It ruined Black History
And
Month.
we'll remember it at the end of this year when we do
Yeah.
a year review.
It
But
ruined
right now-
Black History Month. No, it really did.
Yeah, because there was a lot going on at that time, you know. But we moved on, and Jussie.
Kevin, it ruined Black History Month.
But you know what saved it? Winning Oscars. Black people winning
Yeah.
Oscars at the Oscars.
Yeah, but when you think of Black History Month 2019, you're gonna always think of
Jussie Smollett.
It was
First of all, it happened days before. Yeah, there's a lot going on. That's what, but see, it's like out of sight, out of mind. We forget about.
What
these
would have
things.
saved Black History Month is if Beyonce would have released Homecoming during Black History
Yes,
Month.
maybe.
That would have saved it.
And when did she release Homecoming? Because I only watched that on Netflix twice, and then
I just watched it once. It was so long I couldn't watch it twice. I got into it, I loved it, and I said, okay, I saw it.
yeah.
Don't need to watch it.
So that's why she might watch it and put it on DVD. I mean, back in the day, I used to watch stuff on DVD all the time.
Yeah.
But now I watch it, and that's that on that.
And that's that on that, because I have other things to do. I'm trying to figure out
Yeah.
whose house I'm going to be.
Yeah, but again, y'all, it's Memorial Day weekend. Please be safe. Don't drink and drive. Get an Uber. And if you're getting an Uber, y'all know we was telling y'all, make sure you check the license tag before you get in the car. Make sure everything is a match before you get in. Just don't get in anybody's car. Don't let nobody say, let me take you home.
Yeah, that you don't know.
Yeah, don't do no dumb shit like that, please. Don't do that, because that lady that did that, she made me so mad. He offered you a ride, and Yak was going to sexually assault you. And you ain't got no proof of who he was.
And you're lucky that he didn't
You
do it.
live, yeah.
Okay?
Don't do nothing stupid like that. And y'all in Miami? Oh my God, shut up. I don't want to hear it. For those in Miami, have fun for me, please.
You already said that.
Yes, I
I'm
know.
going to
Tell
be
me
so
again.
bad.
No, I'm not even in more, bitch. I'm gonna get. I haven't been in Miami in a long time. I haven't been in that heat. That Miami.
Why
heat,
you want to go down there during Memorial Day weekend? Why
I
not
didn't
just
say I
in
want to go down
the-
there Memorial Day.
Well, why you keep saying it?
I don't know. But I want to do, and help me out. For those who still watching, my birthday in 6 months. I'll be 35. I want to do something, go somewhere. I'm thinking about
I know
a
you can go.
cruise. Don't say nothing ignorant.
No, get a Kalani.
Why everybody keep talking about that? You probably need one before me. You get it and then let me know.
I did get
My neighbor was talking about it, and I'm like,
This guy took a water hose and stuck it up my butt.
oh
And let me
my
tell you-
God. You was sweet. And you know what? I gotta go. Happy Memorial Day. We'll see y'all Tuesday. Bye.